Every time you say later, your dreams take one step further away. Not dramatically, not loudly, not in a way that shakes the ground beneath you. Quietly. So quietly that you don't even notice it happening. That's the danger. Because procrastination doesn't destroy your life overnight. It doesn't come in like a storm and rip everything apart. It erodes you slowly. It steals from you silently. It convinces you that nothing is wrong, while everything is slipping. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow feels safe. Tomorrow feels responsible. Tomorrow feels like there's still time. But tomorrow has become the most expensive word in your vocabulary. Because tomorrow is where dreams go to wait. Tomorrow is where goals go to stall. Tomorrow is where potential goes to hide. And if you're honest, how many tomorrows have already passed? How many Mondays were supposed to be the one? How many fresh starts did you promise yourself? How many times did you say, this time will be different? The truth is, procrastination isn't about laziness. It's about comfort. It's about protecting yourself from discomfort. It's about avoiding the risk of failure, embarrassment, rejection, or looking foolish. You don't delay because you don't care. You delay because you care so much that failing feels unbearable. So you wait. You wait until you feel ready. You wait until you feel confident. You wait until the fear disappears. But here's the hard truth. Readiness is a myth. Confidence is built, not found. Fear doesn't disappear. You outgrow it through action. You are not supposed to feel ready. You are supposed to move anyway. The cost of procrastination is not just lost time. It's lost identity. Every time you delay something important, you reinforce a belief about yourself. I don't follow through. I don't finish what I start. I'm not disciplined. And that belief slowly becomes your reality. Because your identity is shaped by your actions, not your intentions. You don't become confident by thinking confident thoughts. You become confident by doing hard things. You don't become disciplined by watching motivational videos. You become disciplined by keeping promises to yourself. And every promise you break weakens the trust you have in yourself. Self-trust is everything. When you trust yourself, you move differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. But when you constantly postpone action, you quietly teach yourself that your own words don't mean much. That's a dangerous place to live. Because if you can't trust yourself, who can? Look at your life right now. There are things you know you should be doing. Calls you should be making. Projects you should be starting. Skills you should be building. Habits you should be creating. You know, the problem isn't knowledge. It's execution. And the world does not reward potential. It rewards action. There are people less talented than you who are winning simply because they started. There are people less intelligent than you building businesses, building bodies, building skills, because they moved while you hesitated. Not because they were fearless, but because they were willing. Every day you wait, someone else is practicing. Every hour you scroll, someone else is improving. Every moment you doubt, someone else is deciding. And over time, that gap looks like talent. But it wasn't talent. It was consistency. Imagine two people standing at the same starting line. One decides to wait until the weather is perfect. The other starts running in the rain. A year later, the one who ran in the rain is miles ahead. Not because they had better shoes, not because they had better genes, but because they moved. Conditions will never be perfect. You will never feel fully prepared. You will never eliminate uncertainty. Life does not reward perfection. It rewards courage. And courage is not loud. It's not dramatic. It's not a big speech or a powerful moment. Courage is quiet. It's waking up and doing the work when you don't feel like it. It's taking the first step when your mind is full of doubt. Procrastination promises comfort today. Action builds confidence tomorrow. You have to choose which one you value more. Comfort feels good in the moment. It protects your ego. It keeps you safe. But long-term comfort creates long-term dissatisfaction. Deep down, you know you are capable of more. That's why procrastination hurts. If you truly believed you were incapable, you wouldn't feel the frustration. You wouldn't feel the guilt. You wouldn't feel the internal tension. That tension is proof of potential. It's the gap between who you are and who you know you could be. And that gap doesn't close with intention. It closes with repetition. Think about the version of yourself 5 years from now. Stronger, sharper, more confident, more successful. That person is not built in a single breakthrough moment. They are built in ordinary days, in uncomfortable decisions, in small, consistent actions taken when nobody is watching. Every time you say later, that future version of you gets pushed further away. But every time you say now, they get closer. This isn't about being extreme. It's not about working 18 hours a day. It's not about burnout. It's about integrity. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Start small if you have to. 1 page written, one workout completed, one email sent, one difficult conversation had. Momentum does not begin with a leap, it begins with a step. And once you take one step, something shifts. You feel a spark. You feel a sense of control. You feel proof that you can act despite doubt. That proof is powerful, because procrastination feeds on uncertainty. It feeds on what if I fail? It feeds on what if I'm not good enough? Action answers those questions. Maybe you will fail, but you will learn. Maybe you won't be good enough yet, but you will improve. The only guaranteed failure is never starting, and regret is far heavier than effort. Imagine being 70 years old, looking back, and realizing you spent your prime waiting for courage, waiting for opportunity, waiting for permission. No one is coming to give you permission. No one is going to knock on your door and say, "It's time. You're ready." You decide that. Right now, this moment is powerful, because this moment is where patterns break. Every successful person you admire had a turning point, a moment where they got tired of their own excuses, a moment where they realized that waiting was costing them more than failing ever could. They didn't suddenly become fearless. They became decisive. There's a difference. Fear might still exist. Doubt might still whisper. But decision silences hesitation. When you decide, truly decide, that you are done postponing your life, something changes. You stop negotiating. You stop overthinking. You stop waiting for motivation. You act. And motivation follows action, not the other way around. You don't need to feel inspired to start. You need to start to feel inspired. The first day will be hard. The second day will test you. The third day will tempt you to quit. But somewhere around the fourth or fifth day, you will feel momentum. And momentum is addictive, because it feels powerful. It feels like control. It feels like progress. You begin to see yourself differently, not as someone who tries, but as someone who does. And that shift in identity is everything. Your life is not changed by one massive event. It is changed by daily decisions. The decision to show up. The decision to keep going. The decision to stop delaying what matters. You don't have to fix your entire life today. You just have to stop delaying it. There is something you know you need to do. You felt it when you started listening to this. That uncomfortable thought. That project you've been avoiding. That habit you've been postponing. That risk you've been too cautious to take. That's your starting point. Not next week. Not when things calm down. Now, because time is moving whether you move or not. 5 years will pass. The question is, will you be 5 years stronger or 5 years regretful? Will you look back and say, "I'm glad I started," or "I wish I had"? That answer is being written in your daily choices. You are not stuck. You are not incapable. You are not behind. You are simply one decision away from momentum. One decision away from discipline. One decision away from self-respect. And self-respect grows every time you act in alignment with who you want to become. The price of procrastination is high. It costs you confidence. It costs you growth. It costs you opportunity. But the reward of action is even greater. It builds strength. It builds clarity. It builds courage. It builds a version of you that you're proud of. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is created by action. Stop waiting to feel fearless. Fearless is built through exposure. Stop waiting for more time. Time is built by priority. You don't find time. You make it. You don't find courage. You practice it. You don't find discipline. You train it. Everything you want is on the other side of movement. So move. Move when it's inconvenient. Move when it's uncomfortable. Move when it's uncertain. Because staying still is costing you more than failing ever could. You are capable of more than you've shown. You know that. That quiet voice inside you knows that. It's time to listen to it. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Start before you feel ready. Start before you feel confident. Start before you feel qualified. Because the longer you wait, the more expensive that waiting becomes. And your future is too valuable to keep postponing. 5 years from today, you will either thank yourself for beginning or wish you had. Make the decision that your future self will be proud of. Stop saying later, say now, and then prove it with action.